This is the extension into um, physical health. There's three specific areas I want to look at. My interest in this kind of got sparked. Well, for one of these, actually, got sparked from an experience that I've actually had in real life. One of them is from something that somebody else said, and two of them are actually from something somebody else said, um, which is unimportant. But so OCVT, OCVT, sorry. So this is for eye health. Um, so the this is gaming can affect your eyes. It can cause dry eyes, and these are the ways of stopping this. Um, it can just be detrimental to your eye health in general. 20 rule. So you play for 20 minutes. That's the first 20. Then you take a 20-second break. That's the second 20. And in this 20-second break, you're going to stare at and focus at something outside your window that is more than 20 feet away. That's it. That's all you have to do. 20 seconds every 20 minutes, which can literally be done unless you are getting 15-second cues. I mean, even then, you can still take a 20-second break on Overwatch, where I can legitimately just look out my window. I can finish my game, queue up for another, and then just look out my window. And I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be every 20 minutes. You know, if it's just every game, sometimes you can have a 20-minute game. That's fine, because if I'm doing a break, and sometimes you can have a 15-minute game. So after 15 minutes, you're going to do this 20-20-20 rule where you look outside your window for 20 seconds and you just stare at something. And I am treated by a great mountain view and a bunch of houses, which are definitely more than 20 feet away. So I can find plenty of things to stare at outside my window. Perfect. Um, Play for less than 3 hours. That's excessive use. This is kind of up in the air for me. Obviously, I'm only. Pardon me. Obviously, right now, all I'm aiming for is 2 hours a day. So that wouldn't necessarily cross the excessive use, but I would say 20 hours a week does cross the excessive use because I scrim 6 hours a week. I do college online. I mean, college in itself is excessive usage. I have got the blue light filter turned on my computer, which we're going to come up to that in a second. Um, Proper lighting, no extreme sunlight or pitch black to reduce glare. So if there's a glare on your screen or the brightness in your room doesn't match the brightness on your monitor, that can be detrimental to your eyes. Like right now, it's quite sunny outside. So maybe actually the best thing to do would be for me to get up right now and go and do this. And immediately the room is a little bit dimmer and it feels actually maybe too dim now to be looking at the screen. Um, so that's important to mention. Is there a way that I can control this lighting? Maybe now you'd say, well, if I had um, a circle light above my monitor, that would actually create the perfect lighting because it would generate light all around the area because the area around the PC needs to be the same level. Otherwise, you're straining your eyes trying to stare at something that is um, off lighting. And then anti-reflective, anti-reflective slash blue light filter glasses. So anti-reflective means that if there's a glare on your screen, it doesn't affect your eyes because they don't show the reflection, or I'm not necessarily sure how that bit works. I know how the second bit works though, the blue light filter glasses. So blue light is prominent in games because it means your eyes have their own refresh rate, so that's why you blink to refresh. But with blue light, you don't have to blink, so that's why players can stay with their eyes open, staring at the screen the whole time they're playing. So it's really important to remember to blink when you're playing. Like between fights, just blinking once or twice to keep your eyes from drying up. Or with the blue light filter, it forces your eyes to make you blink when you need to. The blue light filter, I assume, has similar properties, maybe not as effective as an actual blue light filter lens, but Value hearing is the next one. I'm sure you can guess. Another rule here, 60-60 rule. So for every 60 minutes of playing with headphones or earphones on, you should take 60 seconds off. Take the headphones off, stop. And again, this can be done in between queue. I could legitimately just pull my headset off in between queue. Um, Sometimes the queue time won't be a minute, sometimes it will be. Um, Obviously, as I start climbing as well, when you start getting to the higher ranks, less and less people are able to queue. You're able to queue against. So, um, in that sense, if I hit higher lobbies, these rules will be easier to implement because being on the game for 2 hours will be very different to now. Because I'll be in the in-game less. 85 decibels or louder is too loud, but there is no real way to measure this. So there's no way for a headset to be able to just tell you that something is 85 decibels. Like right now, if I was to click on the bottom right hand corner,
Right, James
I
will be
can.
here shortly. Okay, take a 15-minute break.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Oh, he's gone. That scared me. That. Hello, Rob. You're gonna be watching this back. Um, and I'm sorry, that shook me up a little bit. That. Where were we? Where were we? Where were we? Um, there's no real way to measure this. You can't just like set a limit. Um, there's no way of just setting a limit to how loud it can go in that sense. So what they recommend is actually I may have got that rule wrong thinking about it because I think they mentioned something about having volume at 60%. Unfortunately, there are no. Let me get up the source. I'll get up the source to show you guys. Unfortunately, there are not very many easily accessible and reliable ways to measure exactly how loud a sound is when it enters your ear canal. So instead of rule of thumb to ensure safe listening, it's called the 60-60 rule. This means that you set the game volume to no more than 60% volume on any device being used, and limit yourself to 60 minutes. We all know you want to keep gaming for more than 60 minutes, so you for 15 to 20-minute break and resuming. Sorry, I got that rule wrong. Um, so 15 to 20-minute break, 60% volume. Right now, I have my headset set at 18%. Hold on. Yeah, I have my headset set at 18%, which is comfortable and actually, you know, at times too loud. My music is at about half volume, just because I want that specifically to be a little bit louder. Um, but this shouldn't be permanent ear damage. What I have on right now. Um, at least I hope, because I don't really want to have permanent ear damage when I'm older. I have had issues with my ears recently, hearing loss, but I believe that's just down to earwax filling. I had ringing in my ears, but the doctors told me, well, I still have ringing in this ear. I need to go back. Um, but I was told, I don't know if this is valuable information. I think the doctor's appointment should be discussed in a physical health research vlog, though, where this ear is ringing right now, but this one isn't, and this one was. So I think I need to go back to the doctors, and then my ear health should be okay. But that could be counted as part of the risk assessment. My ears are not healthy at this very moment in time, and since I have started using my eardrops, though, I've been able to drop the volume on my headset substantially. It was at about 30% usually, and now we're almost halfway. Well, it was about 34% usually. So we are roughly halved how loud the volume is. So that's really good. Um, Obviously, this shows that I've still got very good hearing. 15 to 20-minute breaks. Nah, that's not happening. Unfortunately, my ears may have to suffer a little bit. I don't have time for the 15 to 20-minute break. But gaming can cause permanent damage. If measures such as playing at 85 decibels or louder um, for extended periods of time, um, and not following the 60-60 rule, which I can't follow it to a T, but I can definitely take my headset off every 60 minutes, give my ears a little rest. Playing at very much below 60%, very much below 60%. So I'm pretty happy about that. Now, the another big one is carpal tunnel. This is more of a physical exterior noticeable effect. So, Ladan Hajipour, which are a Manchester surgeon, um, they are discussing carpal tunnel and the effects of gaming on it, the effects that gaming has on it. Sorry, gaming on PC or console can cause carpal tunnel. Because you keep your wrists in relatively the same place. Obviously, with the mouse, your hand moves a little bit more, but if you've got a high sensitivity, like I do, like a small wiggle can take me from either side. Um, so to prevent this, we elevate our wrists to keyboard and mouse level, or use a small cushion to support elevation. I believe that just you can't really see it. I believe having armrests on the side, and then if I pan this even further down, obviously a wrist mat here, which is a little bit lower but pretty good. And then as you can see, I've got a mouse pad, so they aren't too low in actuality. Um, So I would say we're roughly in an area that is suitable. It's not going to be too detrimental. And there's other measures that we could take that I think would be more pressing. Take breaks during gaming sessions. Um, Unfortunately, again, I haven't really got the time to be taking breaks. And obviously, pro players scrim about 8 hours a day, and I highly doubt mid scrim they say, hold on, we need to take a break to prevent carpal tunnel, or we need to take a 20-minute break for our ears. So I'm sure there are other measures that can be taken that are more effective in that way. Um, that's off. There we go. Actually, drop those all to 11. Um, and the final one, which we're already doing, um, which is what I think is probably going to be the most effective if you were to do extensive research, like finding multiple resources and comparing them and stuff, um, is do wrist stretches and warm-ups before and after sessions, which we're already doing the before bit. So the after sessions, maybe it's time to begin implementing, just to make sure that we keep ourselves fit and healthy. I also do wonder though, I do jits, which involves a lot of rolling. A forward roll could count as wrist stretching, and obviously there's another one called palm up. There's a few stretches that you do. If you're doing physical activities, you have to move your wrists if it involves your hands. So I feel as if potentially my wrists are already in a place where, because I'm not gaming so extensively, um, and I'm doing physical exercise, that potentially um, the risk of carpal tunnel is immediately just dropped very low, because I'm not just sitting behind a desk 8 hours a day. I'm actually active, and at least twice a week I'm going out and doing jits. I'm doing some cooking. I do believe chefs get it a lot as well, because obviously they have to keep their hand in this position of like the knife, and they do that like when you're holding onto the knife, you want your hand to be sturdy, um, which could also cause carpal tunnel. But yeah, I'm fairly confident that my hands are active enough, and I'm not restricting blood flow too often, and my hands will be fine. But that is my extension. to physical health.